I'm Archprelate Alzor, and we'll be looking at the nations of Easterim. Now, before we start, the introduction to this part has sadly been lost, and so had to be rewritten. The world of Mortual is a huge world inhabited by numerous races. Many have over the ages grown into nations or kingdoms which will be detailed. Some have grown from the ashes of older empires, such as the Empire Release, or like the Khazrid mountain kingdoms that replaced the once ancient Dwimore Empire that collapsed ages past. The maps within this are the most up to date as of the writing, and the lands currently disputed by any other nations have, in the interest of neutrality, been recorded within borders of the kingdom or nation that has the most recent occupation. In this part we'll be looking at the Central Lands. These lands, although human ruled, are a melting pot of races and cultures that have been named the beating heart of Easterim, and where most of the human nations are situated. It has a rich and diverse terrain, from the lush green pastures in the northern Demia down the Gold Road south past the westmost parts of Elise into the ancient sites of the Battle of the Peldaran Fields, all the way to the borders of Damalor and its extensive libraries and thriving trade network. In this episode we'll be looking at the Republic of Damalor. The Republic of Damalor was born out of the breaking of the old Elysian Empire. It, like its neighbour Demia to the north, was once a vassal state. After gaining its independence, it grew to one of the wealthiest nations on Easterim due to its abundance of foodstuffs and raw materials. Society. The people of Damalor are friendly and polite. They follow an exact code of social conduct and structure to resolve disputes. The government that runs day-to-day politics is made up of several representatives from all areas of the nation to ensure that all people have a voice in disputes and decisions. Damalor has amassed one of the most extensive libraries, and many flock there to study everything from the ancient knowledge to modern literature. The economy is strong, for which the people are very proud. Its military is enough to defend its own borders and valuable trade routes, but they have little want for military expansion, preferring to use commerce, negotiation and education. Damalor cities, however, are famous for their dueling schools, and many enroll to learn from the sword masters. Relations. Damalor has a good relationship with nations, especially its trade agreements with its neighbours, and have always looked favourably on the integration of foreigners. This openness has helped them create a trade structure, and while it may not have been built with the major military power, it has secured the future of the nation. Any visiting Damalor will be given much leeway in matters of conduct, as the common law as it known rules the land, as the country hopes that it can set an example to others with its understanding and openness. Lands. The Gold River that nearly cuts the land in two dominates much in the way of the settlements, and two large bridges have been constructed to aid in the travel and trade. Much of the nation is fertile grasslands, ideal for farms and livestock. The southern border is dominated by the mountains and caves rich in copper. The roads from the glass plains lead to the deserts of Asona in the south. Silvercrest, the capital and home to the Republic's government. It was once a draconian outpost during the war with the dwarves, and still holds a lot of its original defensive ramparts. The highest point, it overlooks the surrounding area and dominates the horizon. Made with the black rock from Tyron, nowadays part of the Deadlands, it has stood the test of time. The government rules knowing its lands grow and its people are safe. The Great Library here has vast rooms filled with books, histories and academia collected over the years, some given as gifts, such as the Tapestry of Time, which is held securely under guard by the keepers, a true monument to the vast knowledge within its walls. Fort Emwen, the only major city on the northern border, and is also the safest route into Damalor itself. It was once an old Elysian fort that has grown far beyond its original footings into a bustling hive of markets where you can literally buy anything from the simple to the magical. Many who are travelling into Damalor from the north will likely pass through here, and there's always work for anyone looking for coin in their pocket. Fort Oldsummer, a fairly new addition to the nation's many holdings. With new trade routes to the west and beyond, the government chose to build a fort as a marker to the westernmost point of the nation, but also as a hub for the majority of its border guards to patrol the lucrative Silk Roads from potential threats and brigands. New Pine. After the construction of the southern bridge, soon a settlement grew, as the only way to cross the Gold River from the south is here. It has become a bustling trade hub and has a large port only a few miles away for merchant ships to move their wares. While not as large as Fort Edmund in the north, it still boasts many exotic items for sale. With the amount of coin passing through, it is only a matter of time until it grows into a large city. Right, so that was the First Nation in the Central Lands, the Republic of Damalor. Now, as the series progresses and when we start looking at some of the games and campaigns and things that have happened, so Damalor itself was a breakaway nation from the old Elysian Empire. That was part of an actual player campaign, which again we'll go into more detail later on in the series, and you'll see how that came about with the actions of the actual players, which was pretty cool. And again, little things like this that have made this world, feel natural, and it's added to the history as we've played over the years. But yeah, so that was the first episode of the Nations. Next we'll be looking at Elise, which will be the re-upload with the better maps on. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you all for the continued support. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and all that stuff, and we'll see you on the next episode. Cheers.